The Mayan Empire, centered in the tropical lowlands of what is now Guatemala, reached the peak of its power and influence around the 6th century AD. The Maya excelled at agriculture, pottery, writing, calendars and mathematics, and left behind an astonishing amount of impressive architecture and symbolic artwork. Most of the great stone cities of the Maya were abandoned by AD 900, however, and since the 19th century, scholars have debated what might have caused this dramatic decline. Where did the Maya live? The Maya civilization was one of the most dominant indigenous societies of Mesoamerica, a term used to describe Mexico and Central America before the 16th century Spanish conquest. Unlike other scattered indigenous populations of Mesoamerica, the Maya were centered in one geographical block, covering all of the Yucatan Peninsula and modern-day Guatemala. Belize and parts of the Mexican states of Tabasco and Chiapas, and the western part of Honduras and El Salvador. This concentration showed that the Maya remained relatively secure from invasion by other Mesoamerican people. Within that expanse, the Maya lived in 3 separate sub-areas with distinct environmental and cultural differences. The northern Maya lowlands on the Yucatan Peninsula, the southern lowlands in the Paitan district of northern Guatemala and adjacent portions of Mexico, Belize, and western Honduras, and the southern Maya highlands in the mountainous region of southern Guatemala. Most famously, the Maya of the southern lowland region reached their peak during the classic period of Maya civilization, AD 250 to 900, and built the great stone cities and monuments that have fascinated explorers and scholars of the region to this day. Early Maya, 1800 BC to AD 250. The earliest Maya settlements date to around 1800 BC, or the beginning of what is called the pre-classic or formative period. The earliest Maya were agricultural, growing crops such as corn, maize, beans, squash and cassava, manioc. During the middle pre-classic period, which lasted until about 300 BC, Maya farmers began to expand their presence both in the highland and lowland regions. The Middle Preclassic period also saw the rise of the first major Mesoamerican civilization, the Olmecs. Like other Mesoamerican peoples, such as the Zapotec, Totonac, Teotihuacan, and Aztec, the Maya derived a number of religious and cultural traits, as well as their number system and their famous calendar from the Olmec. In addition to agriculture, the pre-classic Maya also displayed more advanced cultural traits like pyramid building, city construction, and the inscribing of stone monuments. The late pre-classic city of Mirador in the northern Petén was one of the greatest cities ever built in the pre-Columbian Americas. Its size dwarfed the classic Maya capital of Tikal, and its existence proves that the Maya flourished centuries before the classic period. Mayan pyramids of the classic Maya, AD 250 to 900. The classic period, which began around AD 250, was the golden age of the Maya Empire. Classic Maya civilization grew to some 40 cities, including Tikal, Huacachactún, Copan, Bonampak, Dos Pilas, Calakmul, Palenque, and Rio Bec. Each city held a population of between 5,000 and 50,000 people. At its peak, the Maya population may have reached 2 million or as many as 10 million. Excavations of Maya sites have unearthed plazas, palaces, temples, and pyramids, as well as courts for playing the famous Maya ball game Ulama, all ritually and politically significant to Maya culture. Maya cities were surrounded and supported by a large population of farmers. Though the Maya practiced a primitive type of slash-and-burn agriculture, they also displayed evidence of more advanced farming methods, such as irrigation and terracing. The Maya were deeply religious and worshipped various gods related to nature, including the gods of the sun, the moon, rain, and corn. At the top of Maya society were the kings, or Kuhul Ajah, holy lords, who claimed to be related to gods and followed a hereditary succession. They were thought to serve as mediators between the gods and people on Earth, and performed the elaborate religious ceremonies and rituals so important to the Maya culture. The Mayan calendar and culture. The classic Maya built many of their temples and palaces in a stepped pyramid shape, decorating them with elaborate reliefs and inscriptions. These structures have earned the Maya their reputation as the great artists of Mesoamerica. Guided by their religious ritual, the Maya also made significant advances in mathematics and astronomy, including the use of the zero and the development of complex calendar systems, like the calendar round, based on 365 days, and later the long count calendar, designed to last over 5,000 years. Serious exploration of classic Maya sites began in the 1830s. By the early to mid-28th century, a small portion of their system of hieroglyph writing had been deciphered, and more about their history and culture became known. Most of what historians know about the Maya comes from what remains of their architecture and art, including stone carvings and inscriptions on their buildings and monuments. The Maya also made paper from tree bark and wrote in books made from this paper, known as codices. 4 of these codices are known to have survived. They are also credited with some of the earliest uses of chocolate and of rubber. Maya life in the rainforest. One of the many intriguing things about the Maya was their ability to build a great civilization in a tropical rainforest climate. Traditionally, ancient people had flourished in drier climates, where the centralized management of water resources through irrigation and other techniques formed the basis of society. This was the case for the Teotihuacan of highland Mexico, contemporaries of the classic Maya. In the southern Maya lowlands, however, there were few navigable rivers for trade and transport, as well as no obvious need for an irrigation system. By the late 20th century, researchers had concluded that the climate of the lowlands was in fact quite environmentally diverse. Though foreign invaders were disappointed by the region's relative lack of silver and gold, the Maya took advantage of the area's many natural resources, including limestone for construction, the volcanic rock obsidian for tools and weapons, and salt. The environment also held other treasures for the Maya, including jade, quetzal feathers, used to decorate the elaborate costumes of Maya nobility, and marine shells, which were used as trumpets in ceremonies and warfare. What happened to the Maya? From the late 8th through the end of the 9th century, something unknown happened to shake the Maya civilization to its foundations. One by one, the classic cities in the southern lowlands were abandoned, and by AD 900, Mayan civilization in that region had collapsed. The reason for this mysterious decline is unknown, though scholars have developed several competing theories. Some believe that by the 9th century, the Maya had exhausted the environment around them to the point that it could no longer sustain a very large population. Other Maya scholars argue that constant warfare among competing city-states led the complicated military, family by marriage, and trade alliances between them to break down, along with the traditional system of dynastic power. As the stature of the holy lords diminished, their complex traditions of rituals and ceremonies dissolved into chaos. Finally, some catastrophic environmental change, like an extremely long, intense period of drought, may have wiped out the classic Maya civilization. Drought would have hit cities like Tikal especially hard because rainwater there was necessary for drinking as well as for crop irrigation. All 3 of these factors, overpopulation and overuse of the land, endemic warfare and drought, may have played a part in the downfall of the Maya in the southern lowlands. In the highlands of the Yucatan, a few Maya cities, such as Chichen Itza, Uxmal, and Mayapan, continued to flourish in the post-classic period, AD 900 to 1500. By the time the Spanish invaders arrived, however, most Maya were living in agricultural villages, their great cities hidden under a layer of verdant rainforest. Do the Maya still exist? Descendants of the Maya still live in Central America, in modern-day Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, and parts of Mexico. The majority of modern-day Maya live in Guatemala, which is home to Tikal National Park, the site of the ruins of the ancient city of Tikal. Roughly 40% of Guatemalans are of Mayan descent. What do you think about the Mayan Empire? Would you like to be one of them? Share your thoughts in the comments section. If you enjoyed the video and learned something new, make sure to subscribe for more. Until next time.